Hello everyone, welcome back. Miss South Africa 2022 is almost upon us. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that it is just around the corner the way it is. Oh my goodness. Everything just happened so fast. It just happened so fast. I have no clue how we have come to this. But with Miss South Africa 2022 being so close, obviously the Miss South Africa organization has started to release some information in terms of who the finals judges will be, hosts, and things like that. And so we really need to talk about this because this year again, just like last year, but I think on a smaller scale, there are going to be some iconic and truly amazing people at this year's Miss South Africa competition. Obviously, first things first, we have to talk about the judges, okay? So when it comes to the judges, we have, of course, the amazing Zozibini Tunzi. Zozibini, you guys know, is one of my favorite Miss Universes of all time. She was Miss Universe 2019 as well as Miss South Africa 2019, and she said that she was going to be looking for someone with a very strong voice and someone with strong conviction as well. And then, other than Zozibini, we also have Rolene Strauss. Rolene Strauss, you guys know, was Miss World 2014 as well as Miss South Africa 2014. And her advice to the top 10 this year was to know which criticisms to take on and which to just let go, which is very sound advice, especially in this industry. And then, of course, I think the most exciting addition to this year's judging panel, we have again Miss Universe. Yes, last year we had Andrea Meza, who was Miss Universe 2020 on the Miss South Africa judging panel. And this year we have the amazing Harnaz Sandhu from India who won Miss Universe 2021. This is very exciting. I'm actually hoping that the Miss South Africa organization keeps inviting Miss Universes to come and judge, because this is just going to turn out to be such an amazing tradition. And her advice to the top 10 was to be authentic, and I 100% agree with that. There is nothing more off-putting about a contestant than inauthenticity. Another incredible woman on the judging panel is Suzette van der Merwe. Now, Suzette was Miss South Africa 1990, but she never actually got to represent South Africa overseas at Miss World, which was the only license that Miss South Africa had at the time, because Miss World had actually banned Miss South Africa like since the late 70s until I think 1991 or 1992, when apartheid was officially over. But unfortunately, in 1990, when Suzette was crowned Miss South Africa, apartheid was near its conclusion, but unfortunately still ongoing and not officially concluded yet. And thus she wasn't allowed to go to Miss World. Similarly, a lot of other sporting organizations and cultural organizations around the world had banned South Africa from competing or joining or going or participating in any way due to apartheid. So unfortunately, Suzette never got to represent South Africa at Miss World. Who knows how she would have done if she had been given that opportunity. But now, luckily, we get to see her on the judging panel of Miss South Africa. And then I thought this was a very interesting addition. We have Devi Sangari Gardiner, who is the carte blanche lady. Yes, if you guys watch, if you're South African, obviously, you know carte blanche. This woman is an absolute badass. I am so excited to see her on the Miss South Africa judging panel, because what is Miss South Africa about if not, you know, empowering a bunch of badass women? And they have brought the most badass woman that I could think of to the Miss South Africa judging panel this year, and I am just so pleased. Then we also have Thando Tabete on the Miss South Africa judging panel. Now, Thando Tabete is a bit of, you know, a superwoman, to be honest. She's a radio host, she's, you know, a movie star, she was on reality, she had like her own little talk show, whatever. She is just an all-around star, one interesting thing about her also is that her swimwear and lingerie company, The Booties, is actually supporting the Miss South Africa pageant this year by providing swimwear. So she will be providing the swimwear for the final competition as well as being a judge. So that's just amazing. And lastly, on the judging panel, we have Professor Thulisile Madonsela, who is a professor of law, which is very, very, very impressive. So the judging panel is made out of a diverse group of women. No men on the judging panel. I used to have a problem with this just because, Miss South Africa doesn't only represent women. South Africa is made up of women, men, in between, outside, whatever. And, it's a bit unfortunate for me. It used to be that there were only women on the judging panel each year. But, since starting to watch Crown Chasers and following Werner Wessels closely, watching his lives, I've sort of started to understand why they do it this way. The Miss South Africa organization is purely all about women empowerment, and so I sort of do understand why they would want an all-woman judging panel. Like I said, it used to bother me because, I would say there are even more male pageant fans in the world than there are female. But it is what it is. They make their own choices, so it doesn't really bother me that they're all women anymore. When it comes to entertainment for the evening, there are so many artists for the evening. First of all, we have Ndoni, who was, of course, top 5 at season 16 of Idol South Africa, as well as Loyiso, Makatsi, and Elaine. Oh, Elaine, guys. You're the One is my favorite song at the moment. I've been listening to it on repeat, so I am absolutely devastated that I would not be at Miss South Africa in person this year. But oh my gosh, so they have all of these amazing artists and even more. They also have Heavy K, who collaborated, of course, with Ed Sheeran on the song Shivers last year on the remix of it. And also Rouge, Boiti, of course, and Nadia Nakai. So no less than 8 amazing and iconic, to be honest, South African artists performing at Miss South Africa this year. I would say that their list of performers is just so star-studded and amazing that the Miss South Africa tickets will be worth it just based on the amount of heavy hitter South African iconic musicians that you're going to be able to see. Now, when it comes to the designers for this year, guys, I thought it was quite interesting. So they basically have 5 designers for the evening gowns, and each designer is assigned 2 contestants to dress. So firstly, we have Zamaswaze Matole, who will be designing for Pearl and Itumeleng. Then we also have a familiar face, Yolandi Fushia, or better known as Julashe Couture. She's of course famous for designs like Natasha Hubert, Miss Universe 2020 prelims and finals gowns, as well as Lalela Mswane's Miss South Africa 2021 evening gown, that beautiful white gown. She is famous for those two, and she will be designing for Tamsin and Ndabe, which I am so excited for because Tamsin and Ndabe are 2 of my favorites for Miss South Africa this year, let me tell you. And to know that they are in such good and capable hands just make me so excited. Then we also have Jean-William Aria, who is of course famous for his designs at Miss South Africa 2020. Of course for Karishma and Tatu respectively. That beautiful orange gown that Tatu wore and that gorgeous purple gown that Karishma was wearing. He's responsible for those, which amazing. And he will be dressing Arnazard and Luyanda at this year's Miss South Africa competition. Then we also have Georges Malelu, who will be dressing Louvet and Kialoboga, as well as Casey Jean, of course, dressing Ayanda and Lebogang. Then the famous Valet Designs, who has been working with the Miss South Africa organization for what seemed like a very long time. They're obviously known for Lalela Mswane's prelims and finals gown at Miss Supranational this year. Those two amazing gowns, as well as, of course, Andrea Meza's Miss South Africa 2021 evening gown. You know, the one that she was wearing when she was judging, and that was also just amazing. Well, they will not be designing for any particular candidates this year. They will be, you know, making sure that the entry number clothing is sorted out. So they will be designing the opening number outfits. Now, what I'm wondering is how exactly was designers assigned to contestants, or how was contestants assigned to particular designers? Did someone draw out of a hat? Did someone flip a coin? Did they play ching chong cha to get, you know, the best? I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe it was just, you know, on Wagner to decide which design, you know, aesthetic from each designer fits which girl the most, similarly to how Wagner and I suppose other people as well were the driving force behind the makeovers. So I don't know how that worked, but overall I'm so excited to see these girls in these amazing gowns. I'm so pleased actually that the Miss South Africa organization is organizing incredible designers for these girls to work with. You know, gone are the days where girls are expected to sort out their own evening gown situation, because obviously, you know, economic differences between the girls could make a huge difference between how they look on stage. And so I'm so glad that the Miss South Africa organization has taken the initiative to literally provide every single advantage that they can to all of these contestants. And that's why I have such respect for the Miss South Africa organization, because they literally are not cheap. They will provide whatever their contestants need, and that's so respectable. I absolutely love it. Now, of course, when it comes to hosts, from what I've seen, we have Moshe Ndiki on the red carpet, you know, before the show actually starts. And then on stage, I'm surprised, it looks like they only want to have one host, which is Anele Ndoda. You guys know, I know a lot of people don't necessarily like this woman. I love her as a host for Miss South Africa. I know a lot of people are like, no, she's too loud, she screams too much. I love her personality. And you guys know, I always say I would prefer one great charismatic host as opposed to two hosts. If Anela is going to be the only host, and at the moment it does seem so, I'm pleased with that. I honestly have no complaints. Lastly, we have to talk about special guests. Now, I must say, I do think that there is going to be more information coming out on special guests, you know, people of note attending the pageant within the next few weeks. So this information might not be completely accurate yet, but we do know for a fact that Lalela Mswane is coming. She was crowned Miss Supranational, but the Miss South Africa organization has taken the decision not to replace her as Miss South Africa with a runner-up. She is still technically Miss South Africa while still being Miss Supranational. So she's going to come over, she's going to be the one crowning and sashing the next round of girls, the next Miss South Africa and the runners-up, and so on and so forth. So she's definitely going to be there, of course. So we can safely say that Miss Supranational 2022 will be in attendance. Now, what I'm wondering is Miss Supranational 2021, Chanique from Namibia. I'm not exactly sure whether or not she has been invited or whether or not she will be there at the moment. It seems like she's on vacation, so who knows. I thought actually that it would have been nice to have her as a judge, but I guess not. It would have made sense logistically. I mean, she lives in Namibia. It's like a 1-hour flight to South Africa. It's not that hard to, organize. But okay. Then we have to wonder about Miss World, whether or not the reigning Miss World, Catriona, will be in attendance. Obviously, last year, the reigning Miss World, as well as Julia Morley, were in attendance, which was so amazing. Last year, Miss South Africa was just on another level of iconic last year. But this year, I am so excited for Miss South Africa as well. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know whether or not Miss World will be in attendance. We'll have to see what the Miss South Africa organization releases within the next few weeks. But guys, I am so excited. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited as I am? Why do you guys think that they didn't take the decision to maybe make Miss Supranational 2021 a judge or give her some sort of role? They did the same thing last year, just having her as a special guest. And I don't know, as a Namibian, I am South African, but as someone who very much considers myself Namibian these days, I don't like that. It's just she deserves sort of a role, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm just entitled. It's not even me, and I'm entitled for other people's sake. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.